Ted Cruz, who, by the way, was not born in the United States, has decided now that the Constitution is bad policy. It's inconvenient policy rather than the supreme law of the land. In a recent statement from Cruz on Fox News, he said, I think birthright citizenship is a terrible policy. We're going to look at the clip, but just think about the words he's using. It's kind of cute, right? It's bad policy. Birthright citizenship is not from some executive order or from bureaucratic rule. It's in the Constitution, the document that Cruz and his party treat like it's carved into stone tablets from Mount Sinai, except when it's inconvenient. And here is Ted Cruz on Fox News explaining why it's just bad policy.
Is terrible policy. It is right now.
Sorry, I think we cut off the beginning of that.
Part of the argument is here?
That is the absolute heart of the argument. And I think birthright citizenship is terrible policy. It is right now current U.S. law before the Trump executive order that if an illegal alien is here and she gives birth to a child, that baby is instantaneously a U.S. citizen. The problem is that's an incredible magnet for illegal immigration. You see people crossing the southern border. You see pregnant women crossing the southern border explicitly to give birth in America so their baby can be an American citizen. We also have this phenomenon called birth tourism, where you have people from foreign countries, people from China, come to the United States when a woman happens to be 8 or 9 months pregnant.
Yeah. You know, what Ted Cruz won't mention is that while that, of course, anecdotally has happened, and it theoretically could happen, immigration officers are trained to look for that. Now, you could say, well, they're not going to catch everybody. Some women don't look that pregnant. I get it. But the point is, you're not allowed to do that. Ted Cruz acts like just because you can come here and there's birthright citizenship, people do this all the time. If it is suspected that that's what you're doing, you are not allowed into the country.
And come here to give birth so the baby has American citizenship. That is an abuse of our laws. And so I have long supported ending birthright citizenship. In fact, I filed legislation in the Senate to end birthright citizenship. And that's what President Trump is trying to do as well.
The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, guarantees that anybody born in the United States is a U.S. citizen. It was passed after the Civil War. Part of it was to stop Southern states from denying citizenship to formerly enslaved people and their children. And now, because Republicans think immigration fear-mongering is good politics, and maybe for them it is, I don't know, they're openly attacking that part of the Constitution. But this is much bigger than Ted Cruz's opinion, because this is about how the entire MAGA movement slowly and publicly wants to erode constitutional protections, but they want to also pretend that they are defenders of the founding principles and see the Constitution as the law of the land. The irony, by the way, is that Ted Cruz was born in Canada. His entire eligibility to run for president is based on his interpretation of constitutional law. But now maybe it's you, maybe it's, well, not me, I was naturalized. Maybe it's someone else. Other people's citizenship is bad policy according to Ted. So to recap, the Constitution is sacred unless it protects immigrant kids. Citizenship by birth is bad policy unless it applies to Ted Cruz. And the MAGA movement is in favor of the Constitution, except when the Constitution gets in the way of their agenda. Sort of like if during the Civil Rights Movement, a senator stood up and said, you know, I think the 13th Amendment is bad policy. That's the amendment that ended slavery. Imagine calling that bad policy because it interferes with your political goals. That's the level of constitutional cherry picking that we're dealing with. You can't claim to worship the founding document and then treat it like a menu where you go, I like these and not those. Like it's DoorDash, right? You don't get to opt out of the amendments you find inconvenient. It's the Constitution. Now, if you don't like it, go look at getting another amendment passed to undo it. I don't think there's any political will to do that. I want to introduce you to an amazing tool that has helped a huge number of people reach their health goals. It is called Lumen, and it's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath, and on the app, it'll tell you, are you burning fat or carbs, and give you tailored guidance to improve nutrition, workouts, even stress management. Your metabolism is like the engine of your body, how you turn food into fuel. And because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health can translate to many benefits, including easier weight management and improved energy levels and fitness results. It's a long list. Lumen gives you recommendations to improve metabolic health based on the context of your breath measurement, whether that's first thing in the morning, before and after meals or workouts. And you can get 20% off your Lumen by going to lumen.me/Pacman. The link is in the description.